So I had an epiphany the other day. I guess I'm a misfit. I mean, the signs were there, you know what I'm saying? What's the percentage of foster kids who end up with bachelor's degrees?
It is estimated that only 3% of foster kids obtain a bachelor's degree. This is from Wikipedia.
3%. Only 3% of foster kids end up with bachelor's degrees who were in the foster care system. And I was a misfit. I was made fun of. When I grew up my afro, I wasn't black enough. When I was hanging out with Puerto Ricans, I didn't speak enough Spanish, so I wasn't Spanish enough. And of course, when I was around white people, I wasn't white enough, despite the fact that I felt like I was more articulate than a lot of them. And everywhere I went, I was a misfit. I listened to rap, but I would secretly listen to System of a Down. Hung out with goth kids. And the way I viewed masculinity was always in a more abstract kind of way. I always viewed masculinity as a spectrum thing. And so, I never tried really hard to be extremely masculine because I always felt like a lot of it was a show. And a lot of it was a construct. The idea of masculinity I always felt like was this idea of what a person should be based on societal expectations. It always felt like a construct, like an idea. And so I never went overly masculine on anything, right? I mean, same with being feminine. I always felt like that was a show to a certain extent too. When you went past a certain threshold, I guess, of being really feminine, it started to become a real show if you were extremely feminine, So I didn't really play that game either, so that further ostracized me and made me more and more into a misfit. And that's just how it was, and I now see as an adult that being a misfit is a really strong thing to be in society. Yeah, you get ridiculed by people, your typical jocks, your typical cheerleader types, the people who blend in will hone in on you because you're different. And the reason why they do that is because of fear. They blend in because it's safer to be with a herd because they want to stand out, but they're too scared to stand out, right? Because we all want to be special. We all want to be different, but a lot of people are held back based off of their fear. And when they see a misfit, they see someone like you who just naturally stands out. They hone in on you so that people don't focus on them. And I started to realize it's a strong suit. Like the geniuses, the great people in society all stood out in some way. They were misfits. But they changed society in a great way. They changed humanity for generations because they were able to see the world in a different way. That percentage I gave you in the beginning, that only 3% of foster kids end up with bachelor's degrees, you have to be different, even from the different kids, the foster kids, in order to beat that percentage. Because if you look on the other side of it, you got, was it 97? 97, 99, yeah. 97% of foster kids don't get it. So, and I got it. I got a bachelor's degree, I got an associate's degree, you know what I mean? So it's like, I was different from even the different kids. And so, once you start to realize that because you're a misfit, because you're different, that in and of itself is a superpower, then you start to look for your superpower. And once you find it, oh my God, you start changing things. You're not afraid to go against the norm. For example, say you're a scientist, right? And you just do what everyone else does. Do you think you're going to make a great discovery in science if you just do what everyone else does in science? No. You got to be a misfit. You got to be weird. You got to be different in order to think different, in order to see the problem in whatever concentration in science you're focused on. You have to see it from a different, unique perspective. And in order to do that, you have to be a misfit. You have to be weird. You have to see things that are not normal to shake up the status quo in any field. Science was just the example. And so, if you're weird, if you're different, if you're getting picked on, if people are laughing at you and you know you're different, you're aware of that, just the fact that you have the ability to be aware of the fact that you know you stand out is a skill set. It's at this point, you should be focused on what your superpower is, because you have a superpower. Like I said, it's the misfits that change society, that make great impact. And yeah. So, if people are making fun of you, man, if people are shitting on you because you're weird, you're different, whatever, you don't fit into a box, create your own fucking box, man. Fuck them. Create your own goddamn box. Don't try to fit into it. I know it might seem nice and comforting fitting into their box, but once you do that, if you've successfully been able to fit into their box, you're not going to feel right. And guess what? Once you blend in, once you fit in, once you're like everyone else, once they accept you, then you become invisible. So it's up to you, man. But my opinion, embrace that shit. Fuck all those people criticizing you. Scared ass, freaking copycat, sheep blending in ass motherfuckers. That's my message for today, guys. All right, peace. Take it easy.